everyone, thank you for joining me for another yoga video. My name is Sarah from You Bloom Yoga and Wellness, and today we're back for another chair yoga video. So only props you need, obviously a chair to do the chair portion, and I recommend having some sort of yoga block with you. If you do not have a yoga block, a book, a can of soup, anything that can be sitting on its own, so preferably not like a ball, something that can be flat, sturdy, something that you can hold, that will be perfect. Even a water bottle filled with water, just so it has a little bit of weight as well. So again, just get creative. We'll work with the props that you have. So if you need to pause the video, get what you need, get your chair, and we'll hop right into it. So for now, you can set your props off to the side. We will be stepping our feet out a little bit, so just be mindful that you don't have anything that you might trip over or kick aside. And I'm going to have you slide forward so your glutes are fully on the chair, but you are forward enough that your back is not touching the chair. Hands will rest palms face down on your thighs. And we'll bring the feet about hip width distance, and ideally bringing the ankles underneath the knees. So we have this nice 90-degree alignment within our joints. Then take a breath in, feel the crown of the head reaching to the ceiling. Notice if that chin lifts, and can we pull the chin back? So we're not tucking the chin, but rather drawing it back. And when you feel aligned, close the eyes. Just notice the activation across the body. Are we sitting here just kind of slumped, relaxed? Or can we find some engagement already? So feeling the sits bones pushing down into the chair to help us grow taller. Even noticing the hands resting on the thighs, adding a 1% bit of pressure down on the legs. So we're not pushing down, just feel a slight bit of weight into the hands. And then notice the feet. Are they relaxed, kind of just floating on the ground? Or can we bring in some activation as if you're stamping the feet into the ground? Feet are pushing down, hands are into the thighs, sits bones are in the chair, crown of the head reaching long. Even sitting like this, you might already feel like, ooh, I'm noticing some activation. Might even be getting a little tired. That's okay. Just holding the strong, engaged posture, breathing deep. And for now, that breathing deep can look like whatever that means for you, whatever is accessible, whether that's in the belly or keeping more into the rib cage. Working more on slowing the breath down. And keep that activation in the feet. They're still pressing down into the ground. Breath in, arms lift up. We'll blink the eyes open, looking up between the hands. Exhaling, palms to the heart. Now turn the fingertips away from your body. Pause here. If you feel like, oh, this is a big stretch already, stay here. Other option, turn the fingers down towards the ground. Breathe here for a full cycle of breath. Then dial the hands back up and then turn the fingers towards you. Interlace the hands, push the palms away around the back. So think of your cat pose. Bring the hands up to the sky. Elbows can have a bend here. Look up for a breath. As you exhale, sweep the hands wide and down, and let's fold. So hands can rest on the ground, maybe on the thighs, even holding the legs. Then bring the hands to the top of the thighs. Think of a halfway lift. So elongating the tailbone through the crown of the head. On your next exhale, let it go and fold. Breath in to roll back up, hands to the sky. Exhaling, hands to our heart and down to the thighs. And we're stepping the feet wider than the chair. So coming into a V shape. And then turning the fingers inwards. So palms on the thighs, fingers wrapping around internally. And then drop the right shoulder down. Lift back through center and drop the left. I'll do that 2 more times on each side. Inhale through center. Exhale, right presses in. Inhale, center, exhale, left in. We'll do that just one more time here. Breath in through center, exhale, left. And coming back through center, breath in, arms overhead. Pause here, feel the feet pushing down again. Right arm to right thigh, find a side bend. And find some circles here with that left arm. So the range of motion will look a little different person to person, just depends what's going on in your shoulder. Go ahead and reverse that direction. And we'll rise back up, both hands to the sky, push the feet down again. Imagine you are lifting up out of the hips, away from the chair, and then left arm comes down, find your side bend. Pause here to breathe first, and then find your circles. And reverse that direction. And we'll rise back up, both hands to the sky. Again, feel that activation of the feet, maybe even the muscles in the thighs are turning on. And exhale, relax the hands down. We'll bring those legs back in. Now we're going to take our blocks and bring one block just inside of that right leg. So right inside of that right foot here. And we'll slide back just like an inch or so in the chair so you have some room to move this leg. And then heel toe that left foot, so it's a little bit your thigh and foot are going to be a little at an angle. So kind of like we were opening in that V, but you're just bringing the right leg back in line with the hip. And then from here, sit tall, hands resting on the thighs. If we really need, we can hold onto the chair. If you feel like this next part, you're like, I don't know, kind of feeling some collapse, hold on to the chair for support. Otherwise, hands on the thighs. Take a breath in and out. Lift the right leg, bring it around the block and tap down. Lift it again and back around. So we're lifting this right leg around the block and dropping it, and around and lower. We're doing this a couple more times. Might even start to feel a little burn in that hip crease, right into the thigh or that outer hip. Very normal. We're building some strength in that hip flexor as well as our core. Just stick with this 2 more times over. So breath in, we lift and lower. Bring it the other way. 1 more time. All right, go ahead and shake out that right leg. We'll slide the block over, so it's now by the left foot. Find a breath in, sitting tall. Again, we can hold the chair for support. We'll lift the left leg over and lower and back. So we're going to do that a few times here. Noticing if, as we're doing this, if the whole body is kind of swinging to help, can we keep this motion confined just to the hip and the leg? So just ideally, that left thigh and hip are moving. Lifting over to one side and then back to the original spot. We're thinking about drawing kind of a little rainbow here over that block. A couple more times. Do this 2 more times here. Breathing in, lifting it over and lower, back to your original spot, and 1 more time, wherever you're at. All right, and go ahead, shake that left leg out. And set the block to one side. We will be using it again in a moment. But to loosen up those hips, we're going to bring up that right leg and cross it over the left knee there. So for some people, you might get into the shape and you're like, this is already plenty of a stretch. So I'm going to show a few options here. So if you know exactly what stretch feels best here, head into that. Otherwise, for people that maybe aren't sure what they're looking for out of this, option 1, just notice how you feel sitting here. You feel a pull into the hip? If yes, you feel a little discomfort, a little pulling, stretch sensation, stay here. Option 2, with a flat back, hinge forward. So if you're trying to bring your sternum, that bone between the rib cage, towards your shin. This will increase that feeling in the hip. So this is option 2. We stay here. Hands might be on the body. They might hang. Totally up to you. Now, option 3, if you're like, Sarah, I'm not even getting to this initial point, here's what we do. Straighten out that left leg, cross the ankles. So the knee is still pointed out to the side. And from here, what you can do is maybe grab your pant leg and start to pull that leg up. So maybe pausing right below the knee. Maybe you slide it right above the knee. And if you do get that leg right above the knee, we can maybe start to slide that knee in. So you might just pause right here. This is totally perfect. And again, we might just be right here. That is also a perfect expression of this posture. Again, it is really about what works for your body. We're never trying to push you into something that's not working. So wherever you are at, we're going to take about 3 more deep breaths here. And 1 more long breath in. And back out. Rolling back up if you were folded forward, uncross that leg. We'll take it to the other side. So again, if you are a little more limited in that range of motion or just tight in that left hip, extend the other leg, cross at the ankles. Or again, we can pull that leg up onto the thigh. Both knees are bent. Final option to hinge forward. You just find what works for your body today. This may be completely different side to side. I know when I had a bad tendonitis going on, I could not do this on my left leg. It just flared everything up. My nerves are going. It felt like fire in my knee and my leg. So I was usually keeping it right here because this was the most flexion I could get in my knee when my tendonitis was going on without causing pain. So again, don't be hard on yourself. We just have to listen to our body, and that's the only way we're going to help our body is by listening to it and giving it what it actually needs, not what we want it to have. Take a couple more breaths here. 1 more breath wherever you're at. All right, go ahead and lift up, uncross that ankle, and we're going to grab onto our block here and take the feet back into, if you're familiar with yoga, a goddess leg stance. So toes are pointed out, knees are ideally tracking towards the toes. So just take a moment and notice, are the knees dropping in? Can we use some of that adductor strength, so those inner thighs, to pull them away? Use that outer thigh muscle as well to pull the legs back. So we have our block and we're going to bring it lengthwise between the palms. So we are not gripping the block, but pushing the palms into the block. Lift the arms overhead. And again, that might just look like right here at the chest height. We're just working with whatever range of motion you have available. So pushing palms into the block or your can of soup or water bottle, whatever it is. Breath in, push the feet down, sit a little taller. On your next exhale, hinge to the right. Towards the right thigh, keep the feet active. Stay for a full cycle of breath. Lift back through center, hinge the other direction, so towards the left, still squeezing both palms into the block. Lift back up, we'll go 1 more time on each side, hinging to the right, keep squeezing. Back through center, hinge to the left, keep the pressure in the palms, feet down, and back up. Now bring the block right out in front, fingers face forward. Keep squeezing. And bend the block towards your face. I'm going to turn just for a moment here. So arms are extended out, bend the elbows, block is reaching towards the face. Not actually trying to touch the face, just about a 90-degree angle here. And arms straight out, take a breath in. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. 2 more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And 1 more time, lengthen out the arms. Keep squeezing that block. Bend the elbows. Inhale, reach it up. And let it go. Set that block down. Bring the legs in. Rock them out. Shake out the arms. Breath in. Arms reach up. Legs are hip distance. Exhale. Let it go. Let's fold. Can rest on the thighs or hands to earth. Pausing for 3 deep breaths. We'll roll ourselves back up, giving the shoulders a couple rolls as you come up here. And bring the left hand over the heart, the right hand over the belly. Maybe you close the eyes for just another breath or two. Encourage the breath to slow back down. Even letting out a couple audible exhales if that feels good. And release the hands down to the thighs. Gently blink the eyes back open. Thank you so much for taking your time and your energy for practicing with me today. We'll bring the hands together at heart center and bow our heads slightly, and together join in a deep breath in and letting it go. As we take this communal moment for gratitude, gratitude towards yoga, gratitude towards your ability to practice yoga, gratitude towards all the variety of yoga, and especially for this adaptable practice using a chair. And finally, expressing our gratitude towards this community and all communities we can grow and learn from. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. I look forward to practicing with you again very soon. Have a wonderful day.